So why don't we take a wide child's pose today? Your big toes can touch and the knees can be apart. You'll drape the hands down and really push those hips back toward the heels. Starting to feel your forehead relax down to the earth. And if it doesn't comfortably reach your mat or the floor, you can always stack your palms or your fists and allow the head to rest there. But just take a moment to connect to the mat. Take a moment to connect into your body as you feel the tops of the feet on the earth. Maybe spread the toes so you feel all 10 toes connect to the earth. Relaxing the hips a little bit deeper and beginning to feel the shoulders release. You might even feel that right up in between the blades. You feel that nice stretch underneath the arms, very gentle and passive. And as you come into this physical space and feel fully connected into the earth, grounded and rooted, start to tap into your breath. So simply notice your inhale and your exhale. And take note of the quality of the breath, and even perhaps the quantity of the breath coming in and releasing out. Trying not to attach labels to what you feel or notice. Just noticing without judgment. And then allowing your breath to become a little bit deeper and a bit fuller on the inhale, and a bit more releasing on the exhale. So feeling completely emptied out, completely released down into your body on every exhale. And if the mind wanders away from the breath, guide it back as you imagine this big bubble of air filling up. And then slowly releasing out, and imagine that deflating feeling, that kind of releasing and relaxing feeling, everything getting loose around the bones with every exhale. And maybe just picturing that expansion and gentle release to begin to still the mind. You're going to slowly walk the hands to the center of your mat and draw your palms to touch, sending the thumbs up and back to the nape of the neck as you feel a deeper stretch across the shoulders, the triceps, and perhaps even down between the shoulder blades in the upper trapezius muscles and rhomboids. Slowly releasing those hands. Starting to draw your hands back under your shoulders as you rise the hips up over your knees. And just finding neutral in your legs so the shins come parallel. You're going to draw the spine into a rounded cat back as you tuck the tailbone and tuck the chin equally. And then pull the center of the belly up toward the ceiling through the back. Now from here, push your left hip over to the left and take your left hand on top of your right hand. Feeling that diagonal stretch on the left side of the body. Slowly you'll draw back through center, taking your left hand over to the left, your right hand on top, and then right hip over to the right side. Keeping that spine rounded up, tailbone and chin tucked, navel to spine. Feel how that deepens the stretch. And slowly back to this neutral tabletop pose. Just finding 2 cat-cows here. Belly draws down, chest lengthens through the shoulders as we breathe in. Rounding the spine out as you breathe out. Finding your breath and your movement. And just again, taking notice of how it feels in the body. You're going to come back to your neutral spine, curl your toes under. Send your hips back towards your heels and then hover the knees and shins right up off of the mat. From there, you're going to send the hips up high and start to pedal out your heels in your first downward facing dog. Noticing the backs of the legs from the glutes down to the Achilles heel. And really letting the head hang heavy as you take the gaze back through your heels. From here, we're going to take the gaze forward to the thumbs and walk to the top of the mat. Separate your feet out a little wider than hip width. Bend your knees and grab opposite elbow to opposite hand as you hang in a ragdoll. Shaking the head yes and no. And just allowing the arms, imagine the upper arm bone, the humerus bone, could kind of drop out of the shoulder socket a bit. Releasing, letting it hang heavy, and letting the neck and head do the same. Now slowly relax your hands down to the floor. You're going to soften your knees a lot like you're sitting the hips low. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, round up to stand. Now you might lose my head in the frame. But we're going to lift the arms up overhead. I'm actually going to come to knees so that you can see me. Interlace your fingers and release the index fingers, kind of like Charlie's Angels. Lift up and over to your right side. Feeling your right rib cage pull forward, left rib cage draw back as you square the chest off. Good. Inhale to come through center, and exhale, come up and over to the other side. Inhale, come through center. And as you exhale, pull the navel to the spine, lift up tall, and send that chest back and over like you're taking a back bend. And slowly release, taking the hands to center chest. Good. From here, interlace your fingers, draw the palms forward. You're going to lift up, breathe in, bend your knees, round your spine, breathe out. So it's this standing cat-cow. Inhale, lift and rise, tall spine. Exhale, bend and round. Last time, inhale, lift and rise. Release your hands now to your imaginary back pockets. Roll upper arm bones back. Again, navel in, hips up, and find that supported back bend. This time, supported hands to hips. Maybe you come deeper. Slowly release, fold forward. Take your hands to your shins as you lengthen up halfway and plant the hands down to the earth as you step back to plank pose. Now here in your plank, we're going to take scapular push-ups. So there's no bend in the elbows. You just drop the chest down through the shoulders, letting the shoulder blades lift up off the back, and then push so you feel a rounding across the blades. Lower and lift. 2 more. Lower and lift. Last time, lower. Now as you lift, really round the upper back. So think about a C curve from shoulder to shoulder. Keep that C curve as you roll to the tips of your toes. Bend your elbows and hug those elbows in as you lower all the way to the earth. Coming down to the floor, your hands will be right by your ribs, thumbs by the ribs. Lengthen the chest up as you come into a cobra pose. Rolling those shoulders back, keeping the chin slightly tucked, and drawing the navel in to release your low back. Maybe a little bit of side to side here as you twist right, and then twist left, and then lower down. From here, let your hands come forward, stacking your palms, and take your forehead down to stacked palms. Keep that connection, glue your feet to the floor, and then slowly you're just going to lift the head and chest. Keeping those hands glued to the forehead, lift and lower, lift and lower. Keep that head connected so that you're not craning the neck. Last time, lift, hold, lower down. Release your hands behind the back, interlace your fingers. Draw the knuckles down and back as the chest rolls off the floor. Keep the chin tucked a little bit and feel that length and strength in the low back. Feeling the shoulder blades squeeze toward one another as you draw those knuckles down your back even deeper. And slowly release to the floor. Hands come beside your ribs, curl your toes, come up through your tabletop, hands and knees, and lift back to your downward facing dog. Again, pedaling out here, bending one knee as the opposite heel drops. And then we're going to slowly inhale your right leg up behind you. So lift high, bend your knee a bit and peel the hip open. You're sending the sole of the foot to the left side of the room. Feeling a gentle twist through your waist. And as you come forward with that leg, step your right toes towards your right thumb. Left heel drops to the floor and you rise up to your warrior one. Good. In your warrior one, bend into that front knee. We're going to immediately go for a shoulder opener, taking left arm under right arm, cross and twist. Now, if crossing and twisting doesn't feel right, you can take hands to a hug. You're going to push up through the elbows, pull down through the shoulder blades. From here, navel in, hip point up as you lift up and back. Tiny little back bend here. And then slowly tap elbows to front knee. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we tap. Inhale, rise. Exhale, tap. Hold here. Push those fingertips forward. Round up across those shoulder blades like we did in that plank. And hold that navel up into the spine for 3, 2, and 1. Release up, sweep the arms. Frame the foot as you step it back to your plank pose. Again, finding 3 scapular push-ups here. Drop the chest and push up. Lower, push up. Last time, lower and push up. Keep that rounded spine. Roll to the tips of your toes. Lower down, hugging elbows in. Take the arms out in front of you like Superman arms. Extend out through the big toes of both feet and lift everything up off of the floor. Biceps trying to reach up by the ears. Sending energy out through the big toes and keeping that chin slightly tucked for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Bend your knees, rest your forehead on stacked palms, and windshield wiper those feet. From here, take the hands out to the sides, tenting your fingertips. Lengthen the chest upward and twist to your right as you drop that left shoulder. Inhale up through center and exhale, twist other side. Inhaling up. Last time, twist right. Inhaling up. And last time, twist left. Taking the hands by your sides once again, curl your toes, rising through tabletop to your downward facing dog. Inhaling up this time, left leg, bending the knee a bit, peeling the hip open, sole goes over to the right side of the room. Take a deep breath in And as you breathe out, left toes, left thumb, back heel roots, rise up. Warrior one. And you always know you can just get there in your own time. It doesn't have to be fancy. We're going to go right into that shoulder opener, right arm under left arm this time. Fingertips and elbows reach high. Shoulder blades draw down toward the waist. Navel in, hip points up as you lift up and back, little back bend. And then slowly elbows to knee, tap down. Inhaling, rise. Exhale, elbows to knee. Last time we rise up. Take elbows down to knee, round that spine up. Feeling, again, that broadening right across the shoulder blades. Slowly release the arms, sweep up. And frame your foot as you step back to plank. Now, in your plank pose, widen your feet as wide as your mat. You're going to tap your left fingers to your right shoulder. Tap your right fingers to your left shoulder. Left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. One more time, left to right, right to left. Hold here. Stay wide with your feet. Roll to the tips of your toes. Lower down. All the way to the floor. Taking this wide cobra as you lift the chest up. Breathe in. Broaden across your collarbones. Curl your toes, lift your hips. Wide-legged downward dog. You're going to walk your hands back just a bit, taking your right hand to center. Let your left hand grab under and behind or across that right leg. So left hand to right leg under the body. Finding that little twist. Maybe even take the gaze underneath that right arm. And switch. So now your left hand comes to center and you ring out, taking the gaze underneath the left arm. And slowly back to center. Walk out your dog to your normal length here and step the feet back into center as you send your right leg high. Taking the right toes to the right thumb, sealing the left foot down, rise up again, warrior one. Adding on to this warrior here, we're going to inhale to reach those arms up. And you're going to exhale to send the chest open. Now, if you feel the shoulder blades toward the earlobes, drop those elbows a little bit. That's going to give you a little wider reach, releasing the traps. Good. Inhale, you'll straighten everything. Right knee straightens, hands come to hips. Lift your chest up as you breathe in. And fold over that straight front leg as you breathe out, feeling that hamstring on the right side. Keep thinking about shoulders drawing back, chest lengthening through shoulders. Good. Now from here, bend the knee, sweep the arms up, breathe in. Straighten the knee, sweep the hands back, breathe out. Good. Inhale, rise and bend. Exhale, sweep and straighten. Last time, inhale, rise and bend. You're going to sweep and straighten, interlacing your hands behind your back. Draw the knuckles down and back like we did when we were on the floor earlier. Send that chest forward, send your right hip back and breathe. Keeping that chin slightly tucked to lengthen your neck. And slowly bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Frame the foot as you exhale and step it back to plank. Finding that tap, wide feet. This time you'll start right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. One more time, right to left, left to right. Stay wide with your feet. Roll to the tips of your toes and lower down. With your feet wide, reach your arms forward again like Superman. This time we're going to take figure X. Arms will come out, so your body now looks like an X. Lift up, and on an inhale, close everything off. Palms touch, big toes touch. Open and close. Open and close. Last time, open, stay open, lift higher. Release. Stack those palms, bend your knees. Windshield wiper those feet. Release your feet, take your hands by your sides. Lengthen your chest up into your cobra. And curl your toes as you lift your hips to down dog. We're going to lift the left leg high and send it through to your warrior one. Left foot forward, right foot back. Bend into that front knee. Good. Feel really firm in your foundation in both feet. Lift your chest tall. Find a tiny little back bend here. And then slowly straighten the knee, hands come to the hips. Lift your chest, breathe in. Fold over your straight front leg as you breathe out. So the trick in the breath is it kind of keeps you present in your body. It allows you to balance, it allows you to focus. Now we're going to bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Sweep back as you straighten. Good. Inhale, rise and bend. Exhale, sweep and straighten. Last time, inhale, rise and bend. As you straighten, interlace your hands behind the back. Lengthen your chest forward as the knuckles draw back and feel the entire body lengthen. Slowly bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Frame your foot as you step back to plank. This time, send your knees down, knees and shins as wide as the mat, and find your child's pose here. It might feel a bit different than in the beginning because this gets a little deeper into the hips. And we're going to flip your palms so that the thumbs face outward and palms face upward. And feel how that changes the stretch in the shoulders. Slowly allow the palms to touch the floor. Lift up to this wide tabletop pose. Curl your toes and lift up to your wide down dog. Good. Now step your left foot into center and send your right foot high up behind you. Sweep that right foot forward. We're going to step up to crescent lunge, so back heel stays lifted. Toes of both feet stay forward. Lift the arms up. Good. As you breathe in, you're going to reach tall. And as you breathe out, you're going to send left arm under right arm, just as we did before. Eagle wrap. Lift up here. And then we're simply going to hinge forward, nice flat back. Inhale. So where we rounded before, this is just a hinge and flat back. Good. Last time up. Keeping that flat back, stay here, belly button to spine. Let both knees bend and fly the eagle up. Yes, balancing into that right leg. And then sending the left leg in front of the right leg. So now you're stepping kind of the pinky toes toward one another. And you can hang out here just working the shoulders. If you want a little bit of hip work, you can sit low into that eagle. And if you want a little bit more balance work, you can lift the left leg up and wrap it around the right and sit even lower. Slowly release, unwrap everything. Fold forward here. Lengthening up, halfway lift. Plant those hands Listen carefully because this is a little different than normal. Send your left toes back. Now low lunge. Plant into that left hand and open up to your right side as you twist. You're going to circle your hand backwards. So toward the pinky side, circle back and around. For 2 and 1. Keep opening. And now frame your foot. Send it back to plank. You can flow through to low plank and cobra, or you can just come back to down dog, whatever feels good in your body. But if you flow through, lift up to cobra and then meet back in down dog. Send that left leg high and step it through for your crescent lunge. Sweeping the arms up overhead. Dropping down through the hips and sending that right arm under the left arm this time. Pushing up through fingers, dropping down through hips. Good. From here, again, flat back. Send the chest forward toward the knee. Lift up. So a lot of core work here, belly and back. Fold and lift. Last time, fold. Bend into both knees. Lift up, fly that eagle. And release your right foot in front of your left foot. So finding eagle wrap here, you can stay or you can sit. And if you sit, let your right leg maybe come up. You have a kickstand if you need it, or you wrap the toes around the shin, which is easier said than done. Sitting low, fingertips high, shoulder blades release. Slowly rise, unwind, and fold it forward. Lengthen here halfway. Again, planting your hands, listen carefully. Right foot goes back. Right hand plants as you twist to your left side. Circle backward through the hand for 2 and 1. Keep it open, twist, and send the hand down. Drawing back to your plank pose. One more flow as we lower through and rise up to cobra and back to your down dog. Breathing here. As you breathe in, right leg will come high. And as you breathe out, send it through for your crescent lunge. Sweeping those arms up and then turning open to your warrior 2, facing the left wall. Dropping down into that front knee. Good. We're going to work a little bit with the shoulders here. So we're going to take eagle wrap. Left arm comes under right. Push the fingertips up. Drop deeper into your hips. And you're going to take your side angle with full core strength. So you're going to lean your body over that bent knee. Navel pulling into spine. Keep sending those fingertips. Now diagonally to the upper left corner of the room. Good. Release up and reverse back. From here, let your right elbow rest down to your knee and reach the left arm up and over the ear. If it feels okay on the left shoulder, you're going to wrap the hand down to your low back and roll that shoulder open. You can always take a half bind, scooting that hand to your thigh and letting that left shoulder roll a little bit deeper. But you're feeling a lot through your hip here on the right. And now you're going to release everything as you straighten. Take the hands out by your sides. Send your upper body forward as far as you can, and the hand will come down somewhere along the shin, taking that left hand up. Trying to make your ribs like train tracks as you drop down through the ribs and lengthen the chest even further forward toward my voice. Triangle pose. Again, option to take that half bind, wrapping the left hand around. And slowly, you're going to circle the hands down to the earth. turning the toes to face the left side of the room. If you feel this pulling in the low back, this is where you bring the floor to meet you using blocks or books. Otherwise, you're going to lengthen your chest forward so that I could stack little water glasses along your spine, and they're not going to roll off front, back, side to side. They're going to stay right where they are. And you're going to send the tailbone even higher as perhaps you walk your hands to the floor and then back behind you a bit, turning the fingertips backward so that the eyes of the elbows face you. Let the head hang heavy. One more breath here. You're going to release your hands, taking right hand to right ankle, left hand to right hand, and pull down. Feeling that stretch over the side of the waist and over the ribs. Come back through center. Left hand will come to left ankle. Right hand will come to left hand. Pull down. Back through center as you walk your hands around. Turn your toes to face forward and drop down into a lunge so your left knee comes to the floor. Take your hands inside that right leg and drop down even deeper into that hip. From here, send the chest forward through the collarbones and just start to rock a bit from side to side. Feeling that nice deep opening that we've created. We're going to try and get a little bit deeper into our shoulder now. So this is just a little, we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. So you're going to heel toe your right foot over to the right. Drop down into your elbows. You're going to try and hug your shoulder underneath that right knee so that you can take the hand outside of your pinky finger. And then you kind of stand the front of that shoulder into your left knee. You feel the hips open. And you might be fine right there. Maybe you try and lift the arms up like wings, pulling into the belly. Maybe you try and wrap the hands around your back, finding a bind. But wherever you are, you feel a lot of hip and a lot of core, perhaps a little bit of shoulder ringing. Relax your hands, take them down inside that right leg again. Curl left toes under. Send the right leg up high and bend the knee as you peel the hip open. Dropping the sole of the right foot to the earth. Lift the left leg high. Send left toes to left thumb. Rising up, crescent lunge. Sweeping open, warrior two. Good. This time you're going to send the right arm under the left arm, I believe. Yep. Just finding that eagle wrap as you drop a little bit deeper into the knees, and then send the torso over that knee as you find an extended side angle. Sending the fingertips up to the upper right corner of the room. You're going to feel the whole outer part of that left shoulder. Release everything. Reverse your warrior, keeping the deep bend in the knee. Taking that left elbow to left knee. Release the right arm up. Now you can stay here, or you can take that little opening in the shoulder. Hand to small of back, roll shoulder open. Perhaps half bind as you grab hold of the thigh and open up the chest. Again, really feeling the hips here. Slowly lift everything up. Release the arms, straighten the front knee. And sweep the hands forward as you reach toward your left leg, letting the hand rest on your shin and the right arm rise up. Let the ribs draw down as if you're thinking about the low rib on the left side drawing toward your knee. Finding that triangle pose. And slowly rising, you're going to turn your feet so your toes face out, your heels face in. And you're going to draw down through the hands. Interlace your hands, knuckles draw down, bend into the knees. Push back through the pinky side of the hand and feel that open the chest. Now slowly release the arms up and take your cactus arms. So I'm going to turn just so that you can see what's actually happening in the body. You're going to take cactus arms here, okay? From here, only if it feels okay in the body, rise up to the balls of the feet. You're going to squeeze the arms forward and then open the arms up. Inhale as you open, exhale as you squeeze. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Two more. In and X. In and X. Good. Release deeper. Take hands to center chest. Drop deep into those hips. Maybe heels are lifted. Pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to inner knees. Drop the chest. Push back through those legs. Drop into your left shoulder as you twist and look over the right shoulder. Drop into your right shoulder as you twist and look over the left shoulder. And from there, you're going to turn your body, turn your toes to face forward and drop down into that right knee. So you find that low lunge. And your hands are going to come inside that leg. Good. Now from here, little bit of rocking from side to side. Slowly come to center, come to stillness, and heel toe the foot wide. You're going to drop down into the elbows as you kind of tuck that left shoulder underneath the knee. And you can just stay right there. Maybe the hand comes outside of the pinky. If you wish to find balance, pull the belly up and reach the arms out. Keep sending the chest forward, and if you wish to find a bind, you reach the right hand behind and try and find the left fingertips. Wherever you are, 2 more breaths. And release your hands down inside that leg. Send your left knee back to meet your right knee in your tabletop pose. And let the belly draw down as the chest lengthens forward and round your spine out. From here, we're going to go for happy puppy pose. I'll turn sideways. Hips will stay over your knees. You're going to drop your arms forward and your chest down through your shoulders. Feeling that open up across the upper mid-back and the place where the chest and the shoulders meet. One more full breath here in your happy puppy pose. And wherever you are in that puppy pose, you're going to let your forearms drop to the floor and slide all the way down onto your belly. Now, walk your hands underneath your shoulders and then send them slightly forward of the shoulders. So not exactly a 90-degree bend at the elbow. Let the upper arm bones come up to the earlobes and drop your head heavy between the shoulders. You should feel this kind of, it's almost like a nice release. It's kind of therapeutic discomfort that you feel across the trapezius muscles. And if you're not feeling that little pinching and squeezing, draw the elbows forward more and pull them in toward one another more. So there's this passive stretch here. Slowly, you're going to press into those hands. And you're going to send your right arm forward as you thread your left arm under the right. Reach forward through the right fingertips, reach to the right with the left fingertips, and lay flat across that left arm. Now from here, send your right hand back. You're going to slide the right knee up into this little half frog pose, so a little bend in the knee, and then let the right hand come to your right hip. As you twist the upper body open, and if you want, you can take that right hand and slide it underneath the small of your back, letting that right shoulder try and reach for the floor. Nice deep ringing across your low back. Slowly come back through center, sending the right leg back and the left hand to neutral. Windshield wiper those feet from side to side. Relax your legs down. Send your left hand forward. You'll thread your right arm through and then just lie flat over that right arm. Slowly you'll send that left hand back to create some space as you slide the left knee into your half frog pose. Left hand to the hip, roll open. So you start to roll and maybe that left hand tucks behind your back as you try and release the shoulder even deeper. One more breath here. And slowly unwind that twist. Send the leg back, unthread the right hand, and windshield wiper those feet. Now slowly relax those legs down. You're going to lean towards your left a little bit. So you kind of lean into your left elbow. Reach back with your right hand to grab that right foot. Pull the heel down toward the hip and push the front of the hip into the earth. Slowly, you're going to turn your grip so the big toe, your thumb and your big toe are on the same side. So your thumb faces to the ceiling. From there, kick into that hand with your right foot. You might even feel a thigh lift up off of the floor as you come into half bow and stretch that shoulder and hip flexor. Slowly release. Stack your forearms, rest your forehead, windshield wiper the feet. Relax those legs. Roll to your right a bit as you reach with your left hand for your right foot and send the heel down toward your hip. Pushing the hip into the earth through the front side. And then slowly change your grip, big thumb to big toe side, and kick into the hand as that leg wants to lift up off of the floor. Slowly release down. Relax the forearms to touch, forehead to forearms, windshield wiper the feet. And relax those feet down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, push up to your tabletop pose, and send your hips to your heels as you come to this seated position on heels. I'm going to turn cornerwise just so you can see me sideways here because we're going to get this nice broadening sensation across your upper back. Let's start with the hands to the fronts of the knees. And you're going to send the chest forward, feel the arching in the spine. And then round the spine, push the knees into those cupped hands, tuck your chin, and broaden across your back. Take a breath in. Lengthen, lift, and arch. And a breath out. Tuck and round. Last time, lengthen, lift, and arch. Tuck and round. Stay rounded here and shift your right shoulder blade back and up to the right. Shift your left shoulder blade back and up to the left. And come back to a neutral spine. Just let your hands rest down onto your thighs for a minute. I'm going to quickly demonstrate rabbit pose, which is just a different variation of what we just took. So we kind of took this kneeling cat-cow. You're going to take the cow back that much deeper. And your option, if rabbit is not going to work for you, your option is to simply take that deeper cow back, okay? So in rabbit pose, I cup the back of my heels, and you can just watch to start. My thumbs turn outward, and I tuck my chin. So you'll see that kind of lengthened arch spine that we had started with. From there, I'm going to start to tuck my chin and round my spine. Now I feel this broadening across my back, and if I want to continue, I'm going to try and take the forehead to the knees. If the forehead connects to the knees, I can then lift my hips up. And what you feel there is this really deep rounding through the entire spine, okay? But you can get that same sensation right here if the body isn't ready to go deeper. So let's all start with the hands wherever you feel comfortable, either cupped to the heels or cupped to the knees. Tuck your chin. Start to round your spine, hollowing your belly, tucking your tailbone, broadening the shoulder blades. Round down, keep tucking, stay wherever you feel comfortable, and if the forehead touches the top front of the knees, then you lift up. And we slowly release down. Stretch it out to child's pose just as we began. That should neutralize the back. It should release the neck and the spine. And you're going to slowly walk those hands back and come to a simple seat on your mat. We're going to do just a tiny, it's not really core work, it's more about the spine, so it's just a little bit of massaging through the spine. So starting with extended legs, walk your femur bones back. So slide back through that left heel, slide back through the right heel until you feel that your bones kind of set into the hips. You're going to lift the arms up and fold forward to try and touch those toes. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, scoop and hollow your belly, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, and start to roll all the way back. One vertebrae at a time, rolling, rolling, rolling until you come flat and reach the arms back behind you. Take a breath in extended, and as you breathe out, tuck your chin, reach your arms forward, roll your shoulders up, roll your chest up, scoop your belly, and roll all the way up until you touch your toes. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, reach back one vertebrae at a time. So these are Pilates roll-ups all the way down. Reach back, one more breath in here. Reach those arms up to the ceiling, tuck your chin, reach toward your toes, roll up through shoulders, chest, and full spine. Now from here, bend your knees. You're going to grab behind the knees, and we're going to rock and roll like a ball. Your feet will come up off of the floor. Again, one vertebra at a time, roll down. And then all the way up, hover the feet. Roll down. All the way up, hover the feet. Last time, roll down. Keep those knees into the chest. And circle the knees 3 times in each direction. As you come through that 3rd circle in the 2nd direction, you're going to allow the arms to open up like the letter T and let the knees drop over to the right side of the room. If it feels okay on your neck, take your gaze over your left shoulder. Send the knees through center on an inhale. Drop them to your left on an exhale. And again, perhaps take your gaze now to the right. Slowly rise those knees up. Taking the hands to your knees, you're going to lift your shoulders up off of the floor. Tuck your chin. Try and press your forehead to your knees. Round and hold. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Send the chest down. Send the legs up. So a few breaths here with legs up. And just feel that release. We did a lot of standing work today. Feeling that relaxation and that reversal of blood flow. And then slowly release your feet down your mat, taking anything you might need to be comfortable in stillness. So perhaps that's socks or a sweatshirt. Perhaps that's a pillow underneath your head or your back or your knees. But once you find that stillness, begin to release a little bit deeper into the mat. Feel your body become heavy. And simply start to notice any places that might still be able to soften. And as you breathe in, imagine the body filling up every crevice, every corner. And as you breathe out, imagine any places that were still stuck could soften and relax. Tension just simply releasing out of the body. One more time, breathe in like that. Imagine filling every space in the body, so full you can't take in any more breath. And then empty out completely, so empty that no more whispers of breath are left. And then simply relax into your natural breath cycle. Taking a moment here to scan the body and feel the body surrender a bit deeper into your mat. As the body becomes still, it takes a bit more work perhaps to still the mind. So allow your mind's eye to rest at the crown of your head and picture a tiny point of light resting there. Watch that light as it expands and gently melts and softens over the crown, releasing to the center of your forehead, as any lines and creases between the brows or over the temples begin to soften. Feeling the corners of the eyes soften. Feeling the corners of the lips soften and release. Perhaps you release the tip of the tongue from the roof of the mouth as the jaw relaxes. Watch the light soften to the center of your throat and release across your collarbones to the tops of the shoulders. Softening to elbows, to wrists, out across the palms of the hands, and releasing tension through the tips of the fingers as only 10 tiny points of light remain. Watching those points gently soften and blanket the arms in light as the light rises and meets in a single point at the center of your chest. From center chest, the light softens to center belly. From center belly to low belly. From low belly to the base of the spine and softening over your hips. From hips to knees. Knees to ankles. And from the ankles out across the soles of the feet, as light releases tension out through tips of toes. You watch the light at the tips of the toes gently wrap around the backs of your heels and rise over your legs to your hips, softening and melting across the low back and the backs of your shoulders. Releasing over the back of your head and watching the light soften to the place where it began at the crown. Feeling yourself wrapped and blanketed in this warm white light. And if any thoughts happen to arise, simply acknowledge them and allow them to drift off into that white space as you rest in the space you created with breath and movement. Slowly begin to bring your attention back to your physical body through breath. Allowing the breath to bring gentle movements into fingers and toes, perhaps circling out ankles and wrists. Stretching in any way that feels comfortable. And then hugging the knees in toward your chest as you roll off to either side. And gently press up to a comfortable seated position with eyes closed. And taking a moment here as you find this seat, to be fully present in your body and to notice any changes you might feel physically, energetically, perhaps in the quality of the breath or the state of the mind. and reflecting on any of those changes that you might feel with gratitude. Knowing that this 1 hour that you've given yourself to be fully present physically, mentally, and emotionally, that stillness and that presence can be taken with you off of the mat into your daily life, certainly in this time of uncertainty. I invite you to rise the arms up overhead, drawing the palms to touch and sliding the thumbs to center chest. We'll seal the practice with a single round of Om, inhaling. Surrendering the head to the heart as you swallow in the back of your throat. Raising your thumb knuckles to center forehead. All that is light and love and presence in me honors and shines to all that is light and love and presence in each of you. Thank you, as always, for continuing to show up for yourselves. Namaste.